everything that I'm about to share with you will help you grow your business. It's going to help you recruit people to your teams. It's going to help you find incredible prospects. And the cool thing is guess what? It's easy to remember. It doesn't cost anything. And the second that you learn it, it will always be with you. I am going to show you, I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to show you how to unlock the power inside of you in 5 seconds flat. This is the story of the 5-second rule. And it started 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, my life pretty much sucked. I was unemployed. My marriage was circling the drain. And my husband and I were facing bankruptcy. I mean, life looked totally different than it does now. And what happened, and this is just the real short version of it, is that my husband had decided to open up a restaurant business, and I was all excited about it, so we threw in our life savings. We threw in our home equity line, and the first one that they opened, it was a really big success, and so what do you do in success? You keep growing, right? Well, the next one that they opened wasn't all that great. In fact, what happened is it started to look like this all the time. And soon enough, we were starting to realize the writing on the wall, which is the longer this thing was kept open, the more and more and more and more money was down the drain. And by the time we finally closed it, $800,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of pocket change. That meant our entire home equity line, the kids' college savings, all of it, gone. Gone. Now, what's interesting about life and what's interesting about business is that you're always going to face a setback, right? There are always going to be things that happen to you. And the question is, how do you handle it? Now, the interesting thing is my husband was really proactive. At 6 o'clock in the morning when the alarm went off, he would spring out of bed and he would get to work and he would be trying to fix it. And in truth, I don't think he wanted to be in the house when I woke up because I wasn't that nice at this point in our marriage. Right? It's easier to blame your spouse when things are going wrong than take a look in the mirror. Well, me, on the other hand, as soon as the alarm clock would go off, I'd want to do this to it. And I would think about all the problems we had. I would think about the lien on the house, and I would think about the embarrassment that I felt, and the shame and the fear. And I felt so incredibly scared and overwhelmed. And so as I would start to think, obviously the answer was pretty clear, I started to hit the snooze button. And so I developed this habit of hitting the snooze button, not once, not twice, but more like 4 or 5 times a day. Now, is that a big deal? Not really. But here's what I'm about to prove to you. In the scheme of life, it's not the big things. It's the little things that make a difference. You see, I don't think anybody ever wakes up and says, oh, you know what, today I'm just going to completely screw up my life. What ends up happening is you make these tiny, tiny, tiny 5-second decisions that you're not paying attention to, and slowly, 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 things go off course. And then you look up and suddenly you're not where you thought you were going to be. And then you wonder, well, how do I get back over there? I didn't know how to get back over there. I didn't know how to feel good about myself. I didn't know how to build a business again. I didn't know how to claw my way out of debt. I didn't even know how to get out of bed on time, for crying out loud. You know, we talk about this word, I love this word courage, right? It takes courage to do what you're doing. You hear the word courage and you think about the big stuff, and the truth of the matter is, courage is required for the little stuff. Courage is nothing more than the ability to do things that are difficult and scary. So how does the 5-second rule come into play? Well, here's the story behind it. One night, so frustrated with myself, I couldn't make myself change, and I saw this commercial come on, and it was a rocket ship, and I thought, oh my God, that's it. I'm just going to launch myself out of bed, you guys, like a rocket. I'm going to do it so fast I can't even think. That's the answer. So the next morning, I don't know why, but I listened, and I did this. I started counting like a rocket launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I stood up. It was the strangest thing. It was actually kind of stupid. The next morning, the alarm went off. I could feel the fear. I could feel the lien on the house. I could feel the bankruptcy approaching. I could feel no confidence. And I went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I stood up. And then I started to notice something really funny. Every single day, all day long, you're making 5-second decisions that you're not even aware of. And they're being made by doubt. They're being made by fear. They're being made by procrastination. And you have the power, just like I had the power, to take control in a 5-second window. Now, what I didn't know then, because what ended up happening is I started using the 5-second rule everywhere, to push myself to exercise, to push myself to claw our way out of debt, to push myself to be nice to Chris, my husband, instead of being a jerk. I started taking control 5 seconds at a time. And what I was doing, I didn't realize this now, but I'm going to explain this to you. I had discovered my stupid little rule, the 5-second rule. My stupid little rule is a metacognition technique, guys. That's a fancy word that means nothing more than you can use tricks to outsmart your brain. You can use tricks based in science to fight fear. You can use the 5-second rule. It's just the moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, because you guys are smart, you know what to do. The moment you have that instinct to do it, to get out of bed, to walk over to somebody and talk to them, to share your business, to make the ask, you have 5 seconds to move or your brain is going to kill it. Now, the first time I shared this was in a TED Talk. I only mentioned the rule in the end. I don't even give any proof about it. And you know what happened? People started to write. This guy, every single day, using the rule right now. He's on pace to double his business. More importantly, he's been crowned the king of all dads by his kids. This guy, using the rule to call people that he'd be scared of. This gal, using it to make her team #1 in sales. This gal, using it to keep moving forward. This guy, using it to train his staff. We know of 11 people who have stopped themselves from killing themselves. This guy was a veteran on a ferry over in London. And he was afraid. He was standing next to the railing and he was about to jump over. And the 5-second rule kicked in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he moved. Saved his life. I'm going to warn you. This rule has a domino effect. A domino effect. Because here's the deal. The more that you stop and think, the less likely you're going to do it. The more this kid stands there and stares over the edge, the less likely he's going to jump. What you need in life is the ability to push yourself. And what the 5-second rule is it's a rule based in science that teaches you how. You see, you're going to leave here super inspired. You're going to know exactly what you need to do. You're going to learn from the experts. You're going to have a roadmap. You're going to be so excited and so empowered and so educated. But when you get back to your life, it's up to you. Do you know how to push yourself? Well, this is how you're going to do it. You can use the rule in 3 ways, okay? You can use it to change any behavior in the moment, and I'm going to show you examples of these. You can use it to find courage, to speak up, to show up, to do things you wouldn't normally do. You can use it for mind control. Let me show you how. So, let's say that you've got a bunch of people that you want to talk to, you want to recruit. You're excited, you go into the meeting, but they look at you like this. You're like, oh no, I'm not going to say anything today. They look like they're in a bad mood. I don't think I can do this today. Yes, you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say it. The only thing holding you back from recruiting the team that you want, from going after the prospects that really could expand your life and business, is you. That 5-second hesitation. That's all that's holding you back. There is a 5-second window between the things that you know you should do and you actually doing them. Like this guy, who learned about the 5-second rule, started a business, and he is now one of the top real estate agents for recruiting. Why? Because every time he sees somebody and has an instinct to talk to them about his business, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he goes. Here's another way that you can use the rule. You know how we do that thing where you say to yourself, all right, that's it. Today I'm going to exercise, right? So you get on your exercise gear, and then you spend all day in your tights. Yes, I do that too. Or you get down to the kitchen and you're ready to, you got your joggers on and your sneakers on, and then you pick up your phone and, oh, look at that, 45 minutes later, I don't have time to do this anymore. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Blowing things off is a habit. If you've got 5 minutes, you can do a plank. I know, the advice is terrible, but you can still do it. Why am I telling you this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because this is not a tool that's just about torturing you. It's a tool that unlocks the power in you. If you keep blowing off the little stuff 5 seconds at a time, how the heck can you do the big